What is a deep fake?
So it's synthetically generated media using the original to make it appear as if someone said or did something they did not, used for malicious purposes, and it is often, most often, powered by artificial intelligence.
And so can you give us some examples of how deep fakes are used in nefarious ways?
Absolutely. So it's often not just the deepfake which is used as a as an attack vector. Various different things come together. So there'll be a phishing campaign which is combined with a cloned voice, which is combined with a deepfake video, which is combined with sort of email a security breach or a domain takeover or a phone number takeover, etc. So a lot of different types of vectors come together to form a very, very successful attack. A key component of that is a voice clone or a deepfake video, because what happens is that plays on the inherent human instinct of trusting something that you see and you hear, especially if you recognize that voice, if you recognize that face. So it plays on the human psychology to really trick the individual into parting with the asset, whether it's data, information, money, that the threat actor is trying to do. So typically it manifests in the form for an individual in the form of investment scams. So a celebrity deepfake will appear on your social media feed, perhaps asking you to or telling you that this is a great investment opportunity and it will set you up for retirement or your children's university fees, etc. So that's one form in which in the way that it manifests in a consumer's environment. Often and rather dangerously, it is used in romance scams. So when people use dating sites to meet potential partners, at some point in that process, they will have a video call with that individual or a voice call, and that can sometimes be a deep fake or a clone voice. That individual doesn't exist. And the aim is to make this person fall in love with them, to then ultimately part with money. With selling the dream of creating a beautiful, happy life together, etc. In the context of a business, it appears in a slightly different way. So, in the context of an organization or a business environment, typically the executive team, whether it's the CEO or the CFO or some C suite executive in an organization, is used as an impersonation target. So, for instance, a CFO will be the target that is impersonated, i.e., their image or their voice will be utilized to clone and to make a deep fake, to make them say and appear things that they didn't do it before or ever. That asset is then utilized to contact the victim, and the victim is an employee within that organization who is close enough to that CXO who's being used as a deepfake impersonation target to be able to execute on the instructions that they are receiving. So usually it might start with an email from this CXO who might say, "Hey, Joe, XYZ is happening in the business and we need to have a conversation. I need to give you some instructions. Please follow them and it's confidential. Let's have a call." So, this individual, because they see an email, they will get on the call, and the call is actually not the call with their CXO, it is a cloned voice of their CXO. And now technology allows us to not just clone the voice, but to have real time conversation. So if I say something, the technology will respond. Generative AI is smart enough to respond in context to what I say in the cloned voice. So the person thinks that they're actually hearing their CXO's voice and they're having a real time conversation. And the conversation then gives them instructions to either transfer funds or to give access to a particular software or gateway into a database, etc., that then allows the threat actor to gain access to information. So that's how it may manifest in a clone voice type environment. Taking it one step further, it might start with on a WhatsApp or an SMS, because a lot of organizations now do conduct business over these platforms as well. We are not just limited to emails anymore. And in there, they might say, okay, let's have we're going through this exercise of acquisition, etc. I need to give, this is confidential information, so I don't want to write it down. Let's do a quick video call, and I can give you instructions over video on where we need the funds transferred, etc. Now, in that instance, the individual will jump on the video call and they might think that they are talking with their CXO. In reality, they are perhaps not talking with their CXO and they're talking with an impersonation of the CXO.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's completely crazy. And so I noticed that your voice hasn't changed there, but that's something that the technology that you're using now is obviously just manipulating the image, but you could in theory use something that manipulates your voice and transforms your voice as well.
Absolutely. So this is an example of how a live video deepfake might manifest. So clearly, what you're seeing on the screen is not Rihanna. It is Aarti who is impersonating Rihanna's and using her face. The voice hasn't changed, but the face has changed. So the point is that deepfakes are so convincing and so realistic. We often think that on a live call we are speaking to the individual that we're speaking with, and um, that that's creating trust. But what I'm just demonstrating now in this moment is that even what appears to be a live video call can be manipulation and impersonation of someone, um, but it's not the real individual. So these are some of the ways in which deepfakes these days manifest in our business environment. They manipulate our instinct of trusting the individual that you see the face of and the voice that you hear. And the one of the most an example that happened earlier this year, which has been in the media quite a lot, was a UK company, but their Hong Kong office was targeted. So a financial professional in the Hong Kong office was the victim. That individual was targeted by the deepfake of the CFO of that organization, who is based in the UK. Over the course of few days, this individual received calls, etc., from that CFO, which made them believe that this is a real conversation. And ultimately, the CFO instructed the individual to join a video call in which further instructions would be given. They joined the video call. There were about 10 people on that call from the executive team, from the their partners, etc. Every single face on that video call was a deep fake except the victim. And the victim had no way to tell that these were not real people. They followed the instructions and transferred almost 25 million US dollars into a fraudulent account. So these are some of the examples in how deepfake manifest in our business environment and our personal environment. It's not hypothetical, it is very real, and it is happening every day.
So that's crazy. That's a very interesting story. But just going back to the Rihanna example you just did then,
Mhm.
how quick, how easy, what kind of skills do you need to do something like that? Is it very accessible? Is it?
Yeah, great question. So you need one single still image of an individual to create a good enough, realistic deepfake video. And you need just 3 seconds of someone's voice to clone their voice in a very realistic fashion. So just one still image, which appears, we all have one still image of ourselves, usually on LinkedIn in a professional profile. And a lot of people now have their voices as well. We do a lot of correspondence via voice notes on our WhatsApp. And if that has been hacked, then it's very easy for the threat actor to get access to short voice clips, which can allow them to clone that voice very realistically. So it's not difficult. What I used just then is a very inexpensive web tool. So I didn't need to learn any technology. I was just able to create an account. Um, which was very inexpensive, and I'm able to now upload single image. I literally uploaded just one still image of Rihanna, and I demonstrated what I just did there. So it's very accessible. There are literally guided videos online that are available that give you step-by-step instructions on how to do this. And this is in the on sort of regular accessible media like YouTube. There is a whole dark web economy, and on the dark web, you literally have playbooks, manuals, etc., which allow you to create not just deepfakes, but also how to launch these kind of attacks step by step. So generative AI type tools are available on the dark web that allow you to create very realistic emails, SMSs that bypass the email security gateways, etc. So the access to the victim becomes very easy using generative AI. And then these free or inexpensive tools, which are readily available, make it then again very easy to create realistic deepfakes. Combine it all together with the step-by-step instructions, one can launch a reasonably successful attack. The defensive tech at the moment is not keeping up with the offensive tech. And what I mean by that is that the technology, which is designed to detect and protect against these deepfake, is getting better, but it is just not keeping up with the technology that the bad actors are using to launch the attacks.